Our guy is strapped to a polygraph, getting the 3rd degree with some sketchy truth serum. The creepy interrogator is yapping about how much trouble he's in, setting this super intense, high-stakes mood from the jump. You just know this is going to be a wild ride. The serum finally hits, and my man spills the tea on how he ghosted his military unit to sneak into Hadea. He literally stole gear and trekked across mountains. The mission? Find his parents, who he has not seen since he was a kid. It's giving main character with a tragic backstory. He links up with this old farmer, Ernest, who has been through it. Ernest is dropping lore about the war and his sons, and the whole situation is just bleak. He points our guy toward an APC, but it is guarded by these sus soldiers. The plot is definitely thickening now. Ernest is going off about the endless cycle of hate between the Palamists and Sabinians, and it is honestly so real. He talks about carrying on no matter what, which hits hard. You can tell this war is not just about soldiers, it is tearing apart families, and has been for generations. He finds a wounded soldier who's part of the sus crew. The soldier, bless his heart, is spilling all the deets. Apparently their sergeant has the key to the APC, but he is trapped behind a locked door. It is a whole side quest just to get some wheels. And then things get straight up horror movie. My man stumbles upon these creepy creatures for the first time, and it is a whole vibe shift. The tension is cranked to 1,000. It is not just a war zone anymore. This is some next-level supernatural nightmare fuel. I am not okay. After dealing with that madness, he returns a watch to Ernest, and it is such a heavy emotional moment. The watch belonged to Ernest's son. This small act of kindness in the middle of all the chaos and monsters really shows you what our guy is all about. It is quietly powerful. He finally makes it to Jova and runs into Captain Voss, the local warlord who is not playing. Voss is all, "This is my town now," and the energy is so hostile. He is looking for the blacksmith too, who turns out to be our guy's dad. The drama is absolutely escalating. Then we meet Abbot Jaffer, the town's spiritual leader, who's being held by Voss. He's this beacon of peace in all the chaos, yapping about faith and how hatred is cringe. He confirms the blacksmith, our guy's dad, might have escaped, but the whole situation is super messed up. The abbot drops some serious wisdom about how deep the hatred runs in Hadea, calling it a perpetual cycle of violence. He is basically saying that propaganda and intolerance got them into this mess, and now it is up to the next generation to fix it. No pressure though. He finds Rebecca, Jaffer's niece, hiding out. She is a kid who has seen way too much. She drops a major clue about where the convoy with the blacksmith went, pointing him towards some ancient monuments. It is heartbreaking, but she is a real one for helping out. Rebecca's perspective is so raw. She talks about how the peacekeepers were nice to her, but she hates the soldiers who took her family. Her world has been completely shattered by the war, and she is just a kid trying to make sense of it all. It is genuinely gut-wrenching to hear. In a wild turn of events, he finds the blacksmith's apprentice, Victor, in a tunnel. Victor thought the actual blacksmith was this guy named Vitalis. He gives our hero a key to Vitalis's house, revealing a locked basement door. The mystery is getting so deep, my head is spinning. Victor explains the deal with the necklace our guy wears. It is made of limbic shards, just like the special weapons used to fight the creatures. He says they are all connected to a group called the Vigil. The lore is officially getting complicated, and I am taking notes. The moment we have been waiting for. He finds his father, Vitalis, but he has been mortally wounded. Vitalis drops a massive lore bomb. He is part of a secret society called the Vigil, fighting a Calamity. He gives his son a Keystone and a mission before he passes. I am literally crying. Back in the present, The interrogator reveals our guy is a diagnosed sociopath, which explains his insane skills. But witnessing his father's death clearly sparked something in him, a sense of purpose. It is this super complex character moment, showing that even he is not immune to feels. Post-trauma, he finds the journalist Vitalis mentioned, Tanya Alver. She is a vibe. She confirms the passcode and reveals Vitalis was her source. They are on the same team now, trying to figure out what the Vigil was up to and how to stop this whole Calamity situation. He runs into another survivor, Atticus, who's Ernest's son. Small world. Atticus is trying to help a group of refugees and gives more info on the area, including the location of the Vigil's secret door. Everyone is just trying to survive this chaotic mess, and it is so real. Atticus goes on this massive rant about how much he despises the Sabinians after his experience in a prison camp. His hatred is so intense and personal. It really drives home the fact that for many people in this war, the line between right and wrong has been completely erased by trauma. They finally find the Vigil headquarters, the Watcher's Nest. It is giving secret society chic. Inside, they meet Gildas, an old member who is the resident lore keeper. He explains the whole deal with the creatures, time loops, and the Vigil's mission. It is a lot to process. Gildas is basically yapping about the game mechanics. You cannot just defeat the creatures, you have to find their guardians and shut down the time loops they come from. It adds this whole puzzle-solving layer to their mission, making it even more impossible. I love the drama. Tanya works her magic on the APC's tech and finds out it is linked to something called the Zeal server. She also finds a tracker, proving they are being watched. She basically convinces our guy they need to team up for real. We love a powerful duo moment. Tanya shares her backstory, revealing she became a journalist because her ambassador father visited Hadea and told her how unique it was. Her obsession with the country's dark secrets is what brought her here. She is not just covering a story, she is chasing a lifelong mystery. The mysterious woman tracking them calls again, and it is getting spicy. She is literally watching them and knows Tanya by name. The psychological warfare is next level. She is trying to get in their heads, and honestly, it is kind of working. The tension is absolutely insane. Tanya confronts him about Vitalis being his father, and he is all, "You did not ask." The tension is palpable. She explains she grew up outside Hadea, but was obsessed with it, which is why she is a journalist here. They are both outsiders trying to fix an inside job. They find this ancient forge with a massive door that requires 4 keystones, and they only have 1. The quest is officially on. Tanya takes pics of the symbols for the other 3 keystones. It is giving Legend of Zelda, but with way more emotional trauma and war crimes. Now it is a full-on investigation. Tanya uses the Zeal server to research the symbols, turning their APC into a mobile command center. Each symbol is a lead to another corner of this messed up country. The adventure is just getting started, and the stakes could not be higher. Plot twist. The mysterious woman who is tracking them calls. She is giving them access codes and wants to help, but it is all very sus. Tanya is like, it is a trap, but they decide to call her bluff. This new potential ally is making things way more complicated. Their first Keystone quest leads them to a mechanic named Boro in a trash town. He points them toward a historian, Caspian Fran, who might know about the symbol. Every new character they meet just adds another layer to this insane, war-torn onion of a country. They find Caspian, who is a wreck because his son, Lucan, is missing. He promises to tell them everything about the symbol if they help find his kid. It is another emotional side quest, showing how the big cosmic conflict is affecting everyday people. The feels are real. After a heroic rescue, Caspian explains the symbol represents the Blood Queen, an ancient monarch. He points them to a giant statue of her in another town, which you can apparently go inside. The lore is getting ancient and spooky, and I am so here for it. In the village of Mariston, they meet Talus, a lawyer forced to be the caretaker of the Blood Queen statue by Palamist soldiers. He is totally over it. He agrees to give them the key if they clear out some creatures. Everyone in this country needs a favor, I swear. Talus gives his take on the war, blaming politicians and extremists for ruining any chance of peace. He had hoped the Peacekeepers could prevent this, but they left when things got bad. It is a bleak reminder that good intentions do not mean much when the whole system is broken. Major reveal. The mystery woman shows up, and it is his mom, Arabeth. She is a lieutenant in some Epsilon division and also Vitalis' wife. She confirms his name is Rémi. The family drama just went nuclear. She gives him a clue to find out why she is hunting the Vigil. The next Keystone clue takes them to the Ministry of Cultural Primacy. They save an assistant, Maeve, who tells them her boss, Martin Rost, was obsessed with the symbol and an ancient king named Lord Astor. It is all connected to some major historical cover-up. Maeve confesses her role in spreading the propaganda that fueled the war. She talks about dehumanizing the other side until she believed the lies herself. It is a chilling look at how easily people can be manipulated into hate, and her regret is heavy. It really makes you think. They find Abbot Jaffer again, this time at a desecrated abbey. He tells them Captain Voss blew open an ancient door, releasing the demons. He also mentions a book, the Gospel of TR, related to the symbol was sent to a library. The lore is getting biblical now. The final Keystone is in a high-tech underground lab run by the Zeal Council. Rémi meets Dr. Hamill, who created his drone. The place is in chaos, overrun by creatures. It is a huge shift from ancient ruins to sci-fi horror, and it shows who is really pulling the strings. He confronts Dr. Mabton, the psycho-scientist in charge of weaponizing the time loops. It is a whole boss fight sequence where Rémi has to survive protocols. This confirms the Zeal Council is not just observing the Calamity, they are trying to control it for their own messed up reasons. Another scientist they rescue, Dr. Lamek, spills everything. He reveals the Zeal Council orchestrated the entire civil war as a massive science experiment. The Peacekeepers were just used for timing. This conspiracy goes all the way to the top, and it is absolutely sickening. One of the technicians gives her perspective on the war, saying the Zeal Council's Oculus division are masters at creating conflict. She knows because she was married to one. It confirms that this is not just a local feud. Powerful, hidden forces are deliberately fanning the flames for their own gain. With the last Keystone secured, they are ready to open the final door. But then, disaster strikes. Arabeth gets compromised and captured by her own soldiers, right as she is trying to arrange a meetup with Rémi. You cannot have a single win in this country without an L. Back in the interrogation room, the main villain reveals the ultimate betrayal. The Zeal Council recruited Arabeth and manipulated her into hunting the Vigil by faking evidence that Vitalis betrayed her. Rémi's whole family story is a tragic, manipulated mess orchestrated by these goons. The interrogator straight up tells Rémi that revenge is a better manipulator than anything else, and that pretending not to care is just an illusion of control. He totally calls him out on his sociopath tendencies, hitting him right where it hurts. The psychological damage is off the charts. At the climax, after Rémi has seemingly stopped the big bad's plan, Arabeth shows up to save him. She was not killed after all. She tells him she is still alive, proving the interrogator lied. It is the ultimate mother-son reunion in the middle of a collapsing evil Lair. The ending is a whirlwind. Arabeth helps a wounded Rémi escape. Tanya is waiting for them. The family is reunited, and with their journalist bestie in tow, they are finally heading home. It is a hopeful but tired end, to an absolutely brutal journey through Hadea's heart of darkness.